Hey everybody, welcome to Low Desert Love. It is early March. The forecast this week, it's supposed to reach up into the 80s, which means it's going to warm that soil really well. So if you're direct seeding into the garden, this week is a great week to expect really good germination. Today we are cleaning up my great wall of tomato. These tomatoes were all planted during the monsoon season of 2022. They are all indeterminates, which means as long as they have food, sun, and water, they will keep growing indefinitely until they die of disease or heat or something else. These are all grown up on a cattle panel. I have two 8-foot cattle panels in parallel, about 6 inches apart. I have tomatoes planted on each side, all about close to a foot apart on each side, plus I have a couple straggly tomatoes planted on the outsides. But this is not sustainable as it is. These have been growing for since late August of 2022. They're incredibly overgrown, they're not pruned, and that causes a couple different problems. It can make them prone to disease due to lack of airflow. It makes it incredibly hard to find tomatoes, and it's not healthy for the plant. I have a lot of branches in here that are folded over, and the more energy the plant spends trying to be healthy and grow in bad conditions, the less energy it has to put out big healthy fruit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to clear this out a lot. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to clear out the top foot, the bottom foot, a foot up from the bottom. I'm going to clear it out completely. No suckers, no leaves, so there can be airflow down by the ground. And I'm going to clear out as much as I can and try to leave a couple main healthy leader stalks. Any fruit that comes off in the pruning will just finish ripening on the counter. I'm not worried about that at all. I won't be losing any of the current fruit. They'll just be ripening inside instead of out here. Now let me show you what it looks like on the inside. Now as you can see, I've got like this here, this is folded over. This is not healthy. This is not good for the plant at all. I've got giant branches. This one's folded over, not healthy. All of these places where it's cracked or folded over leaves it susceptible to disease and bugs. If there was one of those giant green caterpillars in here that decimates nightshades, I'd never find it. And you can see there's tomatoes hiding in here that I probably didn't even know existed. This is just not optimal healthy growing conditions. You can see there's dead foliage in there that needs to be cleared out. And if you come down here towards the bottom, you can see, I mean, the branches are folding over so hard, they're touching the ground here. This bed hasn't been amended since I put them in August. So once I get this all cleared out, I'll be able to amend the bed for the upcoming season. I'll hit these with a liquid fertilizer, give them a jump start at their recovery and new growth. I've got a clear spot here. See, look at all this dead growth. This has all got to come down. It's all got to come down. Okay, now I've cleared out a little bit, and I want to show you what a leader on this tomato plant is going to look like. So you can see here, there's the base, comes up, out of the way, and here's where we start splitting. So I've got a main lead here, I've got a main lead here, and I've got a main lead back here. Is it going to focus? Focus. And it comes up, well, this one comes up, it splits again. I've got a sucker coming off here. It comes, this one comes way, 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 way all the way up here. I had to get out a ladder because it comes up here, and I had to drape it over the canopy because it was hanging all the way down to the ground. So you can see all the tomatoes. A couple different kinds in here. Purple Cherokee, Castelluto Genovese, Tiger Stripe Roma, cherry variety. There's the ox heart in here. All of the trimmings, which you can't tell from there, but it comes up almost to my waist. And the trimmed wall, which you can see I took down at the bottom, so now I can go in and fertilize down here, put some compost, some worm castings down. My walking onions were totally deprived of sunshine, so they're a little sad, but they should perk up now that they should get airflow and light. I found a bean growing in here, which I had no idea was even there. And you can see the other side, which hopefully I can get done tomorrow. Okay, so I know this looks really harsh and thinned out, but it is exactly what it needed. You can see here I've left suckers, big ones, little ones. These suckers are what is going to produce my new fruits, new flowers, essentially new plant. So even though it looks kind of vast and barren right now, or naked as my son put it, this is all going to be new growth. I made sure and left enough foliage so that it can photosynthesize. Not all tomatoes came off. Obviously these will be ready to pick probably by the end of the weekend anyway. But it's still well above my head, and even though I probably topped some of these tomatoes with all of this sucker growth on here that's going to produce new tomatoes, I'm not worried about it. Anytime you do a massive pruning like this, there's going to probably be a little shock to the plant, which is why it's really important that the temperatures and the environment for the tomatoes is what you want it to be. I waited until it was really warm. It's going to be in the high 70s, low 80s, where tomatoes like it. And I'm going to hit them with some compost, some worm castings, and some liquid fertilizer to get them jump started on their recovery and new growth. And that is the trimming of the Great Wall of Tomato. Thank you guys for joining me, and remember, if you aim to thrive, at the very least, you'll survive.